daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Daily Liverpool Podcast, brought to you by the Global Sports Podcast Network. I'm Adarsh Ramchurn, and wow, what a dramatic transfer deadline day it has been. At the time of recording, Liverpool have agreed a £125 million deal to sign Alexander Isak, with the striker passing his medical and just awaiting official announcement from the club. In other news, Liverpool's move for Marc Guehi from Crystal Palace for £35 million was initially agreed, and the centre-back had completed a medical, only for Palace to pull out of the deal, meaning we miss out on the England international. With the departure of Harvey Elliott to Aston Villa and the rest of the dramatic deadline day to discuss, we've secured 3 fellow Liverpool fans to discuss today's events. I'm joined by Michael Lake, Karl Koppack, Tom Goward. Actually, we've got an additional fan, Louis Eason, who's a late arrival. But Michael, I'm going to start with you. How are you feeling? Been a crazy day.
Yeah, I mean, it has been proper crazy. I mean, with all the ups and downs that's come with it. I mean, seeing that apparently Isak was staying in a town not too far from me last night in preparation for today, felt like that was pretty solidified, so I wasn't too worried about that. But then the Guehi move being on, then off, then on, then off, and ultimately failing is a little bit heartbreaking. But I mean, overall, this has been a spectacular transfer window, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, it's been unreal. Tom, first time speaking with you on the podcast this season. Great to have you. What have you made of today's event? I mean, it's dramatic, isn't it?
I don't think I've ever loaded Twitter and Instagram as much as in my life today during work, but happy to get Isak done, obviously. That feels like that's that Saga that's sort of taken over most of the summer transfer window, but a bit of a bittersweet sort of ending, sour taste, shall I say, with Guehi not getting done. I'm sure we'll discuss it, but I'm pretty sure we'll be back in for him if that's in January or next year. But I can't see him not joining Liverpool in the future, to be honest.
Yeah, it seems like one of those that maybe we'll have to wait till January or to get him on a free in the summer next year. Carl, let's get into it. I mean, let's start with Isak, the big £125 million striker from Newcastle coming to Anfield, yet to be confirmed by Liverpool Football Club as we're speaking. But what do you make of the signing? It's been the saga of the summer, but it looks like we're finally over the line.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my mate saw him get out of a van at the training ground today, so that's all I need. And yes, I'm happy with that. Yeah, it was there was sort of talk of it yesterday, really, that everyone was fairly sure it had gone through, that Newcastle had seen since they bought their player. They postured for so long, they blamed everyone else but themselves for so long, and now it's done, and now poor little Newcastle United can go back to being, the hard done by party for all of this, which was ludicrous. Liverpool bid for him. That's all we did. We bid for him, which they've done, and arguably they've done worse with Vissa. But it was excellent. It's still going on as we record this. I've just read the fantastic news that Dele Alli has been released by Como after making one appearance in March in which he was sent off. I want to see a Netflix series on that, please. Played once, sent off, dismissed. Lovely.
Yeah.
And weirdly, that he's only 29. So we're still checking stuff as we come through at the moment. But obviously, I'm very, very pleased for Isak. I'm interested to see what happens position-wise now. Does he do a diamond? Does he go 4-2-4? But the best thing about it is Liverpool have endless possibilities now, which is amazing. We've got the best right back in the world. We've got the greatest yellow card in the history of Liverpool yesterday with Wataru Endo's magnificent yellow card, and every single thing today for me personally has been a win.
No, I completely agree. And Louis, we're going to continue talking about Isak. Obviously, there's been so much drama with this transfer over the course of the summer. Newcastle originally not wanting to let him go, and obviously he's now coming to Liverpool as we're speaking, not confirmed yet. But like Carl mentioned, where do you see Isak fitting into the team? I mean, obviously he kind of fits in straight away into that number 9 position. Yeah. But with Ekitike, how do you feel with him and Isak playing together? What do you think the options are for Arne Slot?
Listen, I just don't. I think playing both of them would just be too attacking, to be honest. Who would you leave out? Would you leave out Wirtz? No. Would you leave out Gakpo? No. Would you leave out Salah? No. We've got too many nailed-on players, and unfortunately, I think it's going to have to be a case of sacrifice one for the other and just rotate. And we've seen plenty of it before. I remember last season, obviously, we had 3 strikers. We had Nunez, We had Jota and Diaz at points was playing up front for us as well. So you've just got to be a little bit harsh, and I don't think Slot will have any worries at all about being harsh on good players. I mean, Chiesa could barely get into the team. We saw how harsh he's been on the departing Harvey Elliott. So I just think once Isak is fully fit, obviously he's not been training with the first team at Newcastle for weeks now. Once he's fully fit, I don't see Ekitike starting any matches anytime soon.
I think it's also important to remember, though, that we are playing about every 10 minutes for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. So if they are going to play, it's whether you put them all in the same team, the same forward line at the same time. I think they're always going to, and with the amount of subs and everything like that, they're all going to get on. It's just seasoning the stew, as I said on something I wrote last week. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I don't think the concern is game time for any of the players. I mean, like we were literally playing after the international break every 3 or 4 days, Champions League, Carabao Cup coming in to play after the international break. But Michael, just another word on Isak. Obviously, £125 million is a huge amount of money. I mean, Newcastle were holding out for 150 million, which realistically was going to be crazy if we did go for that. But we've broken our British transfer record to sign players twice this summer. I mean, where does the money come from? What does that show about the intent that Liverpool are showing this summer?
I think this is how we've been set up our whole time. We kind of do big spurts of spending, obviously not to this level, but we are kind of we're like, if like people are saying that we've bought the league, we spent 400 odd million this season or so, but like if a team spent 150 to 200 million a season for 3 seasons in a row, or around that sort of figure, no one would really bat an eye. They'd just be like, the big dogs are spending. It just so happens that we've done it tactically, that we don't really spend for 2 seasons, and then we were able to spend in one big way to refresh the squad. Like last season, we spent all of 13 million on Chiesa, and even that probably wasn't all up front. So like this is how we're set up to be like this. We don't have a big oil sugar daddy. We don't have an American who's an idiot who buys every player he sees. Like we're a well-run club, and we kind of leave the fiscal room to do this. If opposition fans want to kind of try and find a weakness in how Liverpool's ran, saying that we bought the league, they can go ahead. But realistically, this is how a well-run club operates, and they're just not used to seeing it.
No, for sure. And I mean, like, it would have been the cherry on top if we got Marc Guehi over the line, Tom. But obviously, for a number of reasons, which we're going to delve into now, we didn't manage to get Marc Guehi over the line. I mean, talk me through the emotions, the drama of the whole event, of the deal being initially agreed, the medical, and then obviously Palace pulling out.
Yeah, I mean, I was at work and it was like 3 o'clock and or 2 o'clock. And I'm like, there's only 4 or 5 hours left. And I'm going, is they going to get it done? And suddenly you see the here we go, and you think, okay, this is good. And then you hear that it might be off, and it's back on, and the deal sheet's gone in. So then you think they've got an extra 2 hours, and then it's back off after that. So I feel sorry for him, and we have a group chat. I just said, like, you act all disrespectful when you get your move, and you act respectful and loyal to your club, and you don't get your move. But he's probably it's not like this story's come out today. This story's been going on for 3 or 4 weeks now. So Palace would have known the intention. Everyone known the intention. Why on the last day are they scrambling to find a replacement for him? Because they've finally decided to accept a bid on the last day of the season. So, on the last day, sorry, not the season, of the transfer window. So I'm a bit confused about Palace's actions there, because they are a well-run club. They do business well. But then this just seems out of the blue for them, really. And yeah, I'm a bit confused, to be honest.
Yeah, Louis, you're shaking your head. What's
Palace are not a well-run club at all. At all. Listen, I'm obviously a Croydon boy. I've grown up in Croydon around loads of Palace fans. And Palace fans will not... I mean, yes, they won the FA Cup last year, but over the years, they have had zero ambition. They do things wrong at that club all the time because they just basically... They don't spend anything to improve. They just spend to keep going. and they have just consistently been a mid-table club. They haven't had any flashes in Europe until now, but even in the league, they just haven't got close to Europe. And the one time they do get Europe, Steve Parish doesn't even send the paperwork over in order for them to get into Europe in the first place, in the Europa League, sorry. So they have to settle for Conference League. And the entire thing about them having this month and a bit where Guehi has agreed personal terms with Liverpool, and they haven't set out to sign any replacements until the last few days of the transfer window, where they want to get Gomez on loan. That falls through. They want to get Igor from their rivals Brighton through, and he says no, with delight for Brighton fans, I'm sure. And now they're just begging their captain to stay. And now they're in a situation where someone can poach Guehi with the Bosman rule and get him on a free, and then they've lost out on 35 million for them just to be spending more next summer, something they don't want to do. So it's crazy to me, and I'm so annoyed with Palace, and especially since he did his medical and then they called him into the office and said, "Listen, we need you to stay." In after the window shut, that entire thing happened. So I'm not happy with Palace at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge time wasted for Marc Guehi, who's obviously, and Tom made the point earlier that he's been super professional about the whole situation. I mean, he's even scored yesterday, an absolute worldie against Villa, captaining Palace to a 3-0 win. Carl, I mean, what have you made of the whole situation with Guehi? I know you've had a few mixed emotions about him signing for Liverpool, but ultimately, it's a centre-back who really wants to join the club. He still could in January or next summer, given that he's running a year left on his contract. But, I mean, the whole situation doesn't look great for Palace, does it?
I don't see what the problem is. I mean, if they couldn't fill the place, they couldn't fill the place. To buying players is an incredibly difficult thing because everything, as we've discovered with Isak, we haven't bought Isak because Newcastle haven't bought X and Y. And once they did, they could. And Palace couldn't buy who they wanted to buy, so they couldn't sell. That's completely their prerogative. I've got no problem with that at all. And I don't agree. I think they don't, sell to because their ground fits about 20,000 people in. They haven't got the resources. So when they've got like an England international, I don't blame them in the slightest for hanging on to him as much as possible. I don't want Marc Guehi near the club. Really don't want him anywhere near it at all. I'm still on board with Jurgen Klopp's sound lad policy, and I'd rather talk about Joe Gomez. I mean, he's going to come in January. There's nothing I can do about it, but I don't want him at the club anyway. I don't think he's good enough for a start. He's too small. And I've got, shall we say, ideological issues with Marc Guehi, and I don't want to sing his name. I'm fine with it. I've had a brilliant day today. I'm really pleased with it. Really, really pleased, because I don't want to sing that man's name.
One thing I will say is there was talk of Joe Gomez obviously leaving if Marc Guehi was signed for Liverpool. And
Can we all stand up when we say his name, please? I just ask that of everyone here.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about the performance of Joe Gomez yesterday when he came on.
Fantastic.
It was unbelievable.
Right.
And I know Tom's keen to talk about how great Curtis Jones was as well. I know that's coming.
That's
tradition. It's tradition.
Assistant man of the match.
He was brilliant, Gomez. The fact that he didn't play since Plymouth last year, and he comes in straight away off the bench and does that, and in a moment where we're 1-0 up against second place last season, it's so impressive from
against Eze, who has to do something impressive on his debut as well.
Eze's so good.
Yeah,
I mean, happy that Joe Gomez is staying. We're going to talk a bit more about some of the departures that have happened on today's transfer deadline day after this very short break.
Your body is unique. And Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right level to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Amazing. So there's obviously been some interesting news regarding arrivals into Liverpool, but there has been, well, not confirmed yet, but the departure of Harvey Elliott on loan to Aston Villa. Tom, I'm going to come to you because I know you're a big Harvey Elliott fan. You always wanted to see him get a lot of game time at Liverpool, but it just hasn't really clicked for him under Arne Slot. He's going on a season-long loan to Aston Villa. I mean, what do you make of the move? Is it a good move? And then with that £35 million obligation to buy, do you see him staying, or is this his last time you'll see him in a Liverpool shirt?
I'm a bit gutted. I really liked him. I wanted to see a bit more of him. It's a shame, really, because I think with Klopp, he had that emotion with all the players, and sort of Slot came in and had no connection or emotion to the players whatsoever, and was just like, "Well, you're not good enough, you're not playing," sort of thing. So I'm a bit gutted to see him go, but at the same time, because I like him so much, I hope he goes and does well at Villa. World Cup year, I'm sure he'll be looking to sort of play as many minutes as he can. So yeah, it's again, it's one of them where it's a bit like it's been such a good day in terms of getting Isak in, but we failed with Guehi and we've lost Harvey Elliott. But he's got to do what's right for him, and I'm sure when he comes back I'll be at the Liverpool Villa game on the 1st of November, and I'm sure when he comes back with Villa, he'll get a big sort of cheer, or round of applause like we do with most of the sort of legends. I'm sure we'll do the same with Henderson maybe when he comes back with Brentford. I'm not sure how that will go down, but it's a shame, but I hope he goes and does well, gets into the England squad hopefully, and that will sort of be his aim, and then just see what happens from there, really.
There's also a chance that his debut could be Everton away.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
which would be nice.
Next game after the international break. I mean,
yeah.
Michael, in terms of for Harvey Elliott, he's under a great manager in Unai Emery, who's probably going to get the best out of him. If this is a season-long loan and he has the potential to get back into the Liverpool team come next season, do you think Villa are going to give him that game time, that ability to, really make a case for him being in the team next season potentially?
I mean, I could see Elliott being like a Grealish figure if he really puts his mind to it. Like, he is that good. He is he could be sort of a talismanic player. Like, they had such a good time with Asensio last season. Like, Elliott is a kind of a similar vibe in terms of that. He's playing through the middle, sort of bit techie. But also, like, we're selling a player for 35 million with the obligation. In the end, I don't know all the intricacies about it. Whether we can potentially retain him, I doubt it. But the fact that we're going to be losing a player of that sort of quality, I think he just doesn't fit the sort of style. But then again, like, I could see him playing as like the Verts backup, but is he too good to be doing that? And like, I think what hurts me is the fact that he's like all these pictures of him as a childhood Liverpool fan. Like, he's got those pictures in like the old kits. I mean, they're not that old compared to him, but like all those kits when he was like 5, and like he plays for the badge. He's always running. He's a little terrier. But like, I watched him for the under-21s of England, and he ran the show there. He was by far the best player, and like, he deserved a bit like Kelleher in terms of like a squad player for Liverpool, but deserved a starting berth in the Premier League and could be a top 10 team player, which he's gone to Villa, which realistically, apart from the start of their season, but like, they should be sort of fighting for Champions League football and getting far into it. So I could really see him having a good time there, and like, he's always very creative. I think if he plays in that sort of central 10 position, that's personally my opinion where he's the best, rather than out on the wing because he's not particularly quick. But like, he could really run the show with playing at Villa, and I'm really looking forward to what Emery can do with him.
No, for sure. Tom is Liverpool have posted something.
They've just
Tom,
posted like 3 seats. They've just posted
three
seats.
stadium chairs.
Oh, here we go.
They're teasing us.
Something is coming. Okay.
2 of them are shut. One of them is open. I wonder if that's.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
You did say before we started recording that they would post while we were recording as well.
Yeah, I called it. I had a feeling. Liverpool always do that. So, but that is potential of Isak being announced very, very soon, imminently. But yeah, just going back to departures, Carl, I know we spoke about Joe Gomez in part 1. There was talk of him going to AC Milan. I mean, I don't know what the exact bid was, but Liverpool, I think, and even Joe Gomez completely shut down that transfer. Yeah. It's super important that Joe Gomez stays at the football club, regardless of where he plays, don't you think?
Yeah, and also it's also for non-footballing reasons, which is important, because it's a place of work. He's Virgil's best mate. That means something. If that keeps Virgil van Dijk happy, I'm very, very happy with that. I want Virgil van Dijk as happy and as laid back as possible. He's also the longest surviving player at the club, and he goes back and he's got the history in him, and also I think he's a genuinely great player. He had a problem for a while. It's mad to think that he started at left back for us. That's absolutely mad under Brendan Rodgers. He had a problem with a while with getting his head under the ball too much. His position wasn't great, but he's, when he was fit and when he played when it was him and Virgil in the back, I thought we were genuinely brilliant. I really did. And I'd rather he be at the club because he understands where everything is. He understands the system, and he comes on and sees out Arsenal, which is not nothing. As Louis says, after not playing for 8 months. I just love everything about him. He's also got the best scowl in the entire club. I wouldn't mess with Joe Gomez.
Yeah,
he just looks dead hard all the time. So
I love Gomez.
And it's important that we've got a connection to what came before Jurgen, and he's got a lot of football to play. We got him very, very young, and it's as I say, he's the longest surviving player there. It's important that he stays.
I think it's also important because he's homegrown quota as well. We don't in the first team we don't have that many English players left. So it's important,
especially
that we
now
have
that
him
Harvey's
for that
left.
reason. Yeah, that is true as well. Yeah. And I do think it's just important to have someone who will not complain at all. He'll play in any position, and I always judge someone as a Liverpool fan based on what they say about Joe Gomez, because if they get him out, get him gone, I want him gone now, which a lot of people do say about Gomez. I just think, you haven't seen the good performances, and you're quite reactive as a fan as well. But we remember, as Karl alluded to, that title-winning season when he was playing at centre-back next to Van Dijk, and that partnership they had was so strong. I'm just hoping that, I don't know how long he's going to be at Liverpool for. It might even be next summer that he leaves, because there's always talk of him going.
There's rumours of an extension. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's rumours of an extension.
And of course, last season there was talk of him going to Newcastle for a swap deal with Gordon as well. I can't see that happening now.
It was the first day of the season against Ipswich. It was Villa. That's what we were hearing in the ground. He's talking to Villa now, and he wasn't.
Yeah. So there's always rumours of him leaving, and I hope that he does just stay, as he always seems to do. And I hope he gets a goal before he does go.
No, completely agree. I think also on Joe Gomez, Carl, you made a great point. He's one of the leaders in the team as well. And sorry, we're gonna have to cut Tom.
They've just announced it. It's on the Liverpool Instagram page.
It's my first time seeing Isak in a Liverpool shirt.
I knew it was gonna happen on this podcast recording. I called it before.
Have we bought Isak?
Confirmed.
When?
That's news to me, actually.
No, that was coming.
That's very far sideways.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you, but you called it, Adarsh. You called it. Perfect.
You're like this is what I wanted, Tom. That's what this is.
This is a great clip.
If there's anything to be interrupted by, it's Isak in a Liverpool shirt.
It's got 30,000 likes in a minute.
That is ridiculous. But yeah, that's confirmed. Alexander Isak has signed for Liverpool, officially confirmed at 9:30 on Monday. Yeah, I know, it's absolutely ridiculous. But we've got our man. Anyone want to share quick reactions before we go to a break of the news?
I just feel like it's a long time coming. I feel like this whole Isak thing has dragged out for what feels like years. And I know it's not, but it's just feel like it started right at the end of the season, and it's what's that, like 3-4 months, and it's gone on, and then literally the last day of the transfer window at 9:30 at night, it's been announced. It just feels like it's like, yeah, I just feel like all that's happened over the summer in terms of football and non-football, and then it's like every time you turn the radio on or Sky Sports News, it's Isak this, Isak that, and then we sat there on a chair in a Liverpool shirt. It's just really bizarre to see.
And he's number 9 as well.
Number 9,
and he's number 9.
I haven't seen
Big.
Okay.
The BBC saying he's number 9.
Liked by Van Dijk already. There we go. Oh, it's
They're all
it's
over.
all just coming
Van
together
Dijk should
so
get a role
nicely, isn't
in
it?
our transfer committee because he's been doing all of the looks and the
There was that
handshakes. with all
video,
the
wasn't there,
players.
from the end of the final
Yeah.
where they. I'd love to know
To
what
be
was
fair,
said.
that looked
I'd
like
love
it
to
was
know what was
Isak.
said.
It looked like it was Isak doing that more than Van Dijk
Yeah.
in that little
Yeah,
exchange. It was like he was like, "Just stay for next year. I want to come and play with you." Please.
Good for him.
But yeah, just to confirm, Isak has completed his move to Liverpool, and we'll discuss that more in part 3, where we'll be ranking Liverpool's transfer window out of 10 after this very short break.
Do you have a story that the world needs to hear? Have you struggled with reaching new audiences who are engaged with your story? Well, it might be time for you to start a podcast. Let me tell you about a platform we use here at Global Sports Podcast Network. Zencastr makes it easy to start a high-quality podcast built for growth from day one. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes the ums, as, you knows, and 22 other speech patterns, Zencastr makes it super easy to start a podcast that sounds great. Ready to tell your story? Well, check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr. Do you have a story that the world needs to hear?
Amazing. So it's the end of the transfer window. Obviously, deadline day has finished, closed, no more signings, and Liverpool have completed a lot of business. Louis, I'm going to start with you. Out of 10, what are you giving this transfer window?
9.999999 recurring. You can tell what would have made it a 10. I just think getting Guehi and losing him at the last minute has kind of put a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth just for the end of it. But, you know, we did get quite a few players. I think I know everyone's talking about Isak. I'm more excited about Wirtz still. I just think we have got an absolute legend in Florian Wirtz. I know his start hasn't been particularly impressive in terms of numbers, like goals or assists, but that performance in the second half against Arsenal was phenomenal, and we're going to see more of that. If Salah could just sort out his first touch in his match there, in that match, then he would have got an assist. He looks the real deal, and I mean, him linking up with Isak, it's gonna be very scary for other teams.
Yeah, no, I mean it's just mouthwatering, the options that we've got. Cole, I don't think before the transfer window started and before we made our first signing that we expected this amount of churn in terms of players, not just players coming in, but obviously players leaving. And obviously this being Arne Slot's, you can technically call it his first transfer window, given
It's
that
his first team.
Yeah, he started to implement and bring his own players in. So, I mean, what have you made of just the sheer amount of activity, let alone players coming in, but also players leaving?
I think it's been really good. I was a bit disappointed at Lucho going because I really like Lucho, but I can see why, and the age and the profile, that makes sense. Darwin Núñez had to go. I mean, we can all cling on to that for as long as we possibly can, but ultimately it wasn't working for either of us. And obviously we had the tragedy with Diogo and Andre. But in terms of the window itself, it's a straight 10 from me. There's no losses at all. I would have liked another. Ironically, I would have liked a centre half. I still think we get one anyway in December. I'd quite like another forward too, but in January, and I think we get one in January. But what is nice more than anything else is next season the transfer window is none of our business. We're not going to go. We're not going to do a thing. We'll buy someone for £3, and then Endo will retire, and then that'll be it for another year. And I sort of miss those days.
Can I just
like
ask
we have
quick?
fun.
Can I just ask? Do you think we'll see a bit of Leone more now that Guehi hasn't come in? Let's say
I'd like to.
Let's say that
would I.
like Konate's injury is whatever has happened to him at the weekend, or let's say Gomez gets injured again. Do you think
it's not bad? Apparently, I've heard it is mostly just
okay?
cramp and being kicked
he was
around a bit.
still called up
Would
to
you
the France
guys
squad.
would you guys be opposed to seeing him, or would you quite like to sort of see him? Because
No,
I don't really
absolutely
know
not.
much about him. But
I mean,
would it be nice to see?
Slot loves
what
him.
what I base a lot of these new transfers in, I did this with Endo. It's by looking at the comments of the club that he's leaving's like farewell post, and they all seemed quite upset, which makes me very happy. So I would like to see more of him. I mean, he's massive, he's huge.
He's built like
so
Superman.
yeah, I'm wondering if he's going to be an aerial threat up in corners as well. Apparently, he's quite calm on the ball. I haven't seen too much about his actual tackling, but I'd love to see him. Against Southampton, for example, when we play them in the Carabao Cup.
I think that's
a good.
where I think that's where you get him and Rio and Joe Gomez captaining the side.
Exactly.
It scores his goal. We still need to see Joe Gomez goal this year.
I'd like to see a bit more Armin Petchsi. He looks really good in pre-season. He made that great save against. Was it? Who did we play? We played someone twice in a row, and he made. Was it Bilbao? Someone like
Bilbao,
that.
Bilbao, yeah.
Bilbao.
Yeah, I mean, if you go through our team now, you just mentioned the keepers. If you go through our team now, we almost have like a world-class backup option and like almost a world-class like 2 players in every position, bar maybe the right wing position, because I don't know if you can call Chiesa world-class, but I don't know. But I just feel like
he was.
He won the Euros, to be fair.
I'd call him world-class.
Okay, fair enough. I just feel like
he was the best player for that team as well.
I just feel like Liverpool's B team could be their A team, if that makes sense. Like I just feel like if you put like I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. I can't. But you put that's the one. You put him in goal, and like the centre backs and the full backs, and just the midfield now is crazy. And I just feel like our starting 11 could get injured, and I don't think it would be the end of the world.
Even the kids that could be coming through are crazy. Like, I mean, I know that Neoni and Ningamoa are now seen as first team players, but then there's like Nallo and players like that. Petshi, as we said, like, he's been signed in years down the line, but these players are squad players who can step in. Jamie Downs, like loads. All these players are kings in their own right. So it will be great to see them have some game time.
When your back four is Marms in goal, Robertson, Bradley, Leone, and Gomez.
Solid. Put Frimpong there now because Soboslai, I don't want him away from that right back row.
The lad who was going to sign back to Leverkusen. Yeah, that'll do. I need you, mate. I need you.
You've got Curtis Jones. You've got Wataru Endo. Who's our backup cam now? I don't know. Soboslai. Leone.
Yeah.
Right wing Chiesa up front. Probably Ekatike. Left wing Rio. What a second team.
It's a solid team.
And that's what you need. That's what you need to win, to go deep into all the competitions. Michael, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, the youngsters coming through. But if you had to give this transfer window a rating out of 10, what would you give it?
I'd give it a 4. I'd probably give it a 10. I mean, like, the only blemish is Guehi, but like realistically, as we just kind of highlighted, we've got a solid second 11, and I think with the kids, if they need to. I do, but I don't like Nallo. I really hate, and Lucky. He's another centre back who got a little bit of time in pre-season. I think
Stevenson as well. Yeah,
Lucky. Like
Lucas,
we've got a few players who are solid, who can fill in that role. So I'm really not like too worried about not getting Guehi, because Leone is built like Superman, and like the only reticent part I've got, or the only part that's maybe making me a little bit worried, is that Canate and Gomez are a little bit injury prone, but I have confidence that they can kind of work together to not have too many problems. But yeah, I think it's a 10. I think the outgoings all made sense. The only one I'm a little bit annoyed about is Tyler Morton. I feel like it's quite a cheap fee for how good he is.
That's true.
But all the rest of them were good money for squad players, or just needed to get them gone. Like, I think it was got a lot of money back.
Do you know who we still have in defence, believe it or not? We still have Reece Williams.
Reece Williams,
I know we spoke about this in the... I know me and Jesse made a joke about that. That's bigger news than Isak joining. It's the fact that Reece Williams is still a Liverpool player. 24 years old now, and I mean, if worse comes to worse, just chuck him in there.
Nat Phillips.
Yeah,
he's going to be the new Nat Phillips.
Should have run it back with those two with their injuries in their faces.
I think he's closer to being in line for the throne than he is to being in Liverpool's first team, to be honest.
Just so you clarify, that's on their Instagram. He is number 9.
He's the number 9.
If anyone needed it.
Well, Tom, we're gonna give you the final word. The transfer window has obviously been a huge success, but we've got the big international break now. when we come back, Burnley away. I mean, how many do you expect Isak to start that game straight away, or what do you think?
Probably not. I don't know. Probably not. Thing is, his first games this season are going to be with, Sweden. So it depends how they go. For him, I there's no rush. I mean, it's Burnley. We're not coming back and facing City or Chelsea or someone like that. No disrespect to them, but it's Burnley. So, I would probably say he doesn't start. But we might see some changes. Do you know what I mean? We might see maybe Robertson gets his first start of the season. Just sort of change it around a bit because we've got some big games coming up. Champions League starts soon. So, Slot will have to start looking ahead to that. But yeah, it's an interesting time. It's a good time to be a Liverpool fan. But I don't think the transfer window is probably, for me, 10 out of 10. I'd probably give it 9, maybe 8.5, 9, just because of Guehi and also some of the departures. Like for me personally, Harvey Elliott going, and Carl mentioned like Diaz as well. That's two players that sort of become sort of fan favourites over the last couple of seasons. But I see Diaz is doing well for Bayern. I see the odd clip pop up on Instagram. He scored quite a good goal the other day, I think. So nice to see him still doing well. And you never wish them to move on and do bad, but look, we've just signed Isak, for God's sake. So I can't complain really.
Yeah, no,
do you know what? Trent would love this. Shame, Trent would love Isak. He's perfect.
Yeah,
absolutely perfect.
We've got a better version in Szoboszlai.
Because that's
true. Yeah,
that part yesterday.
Trent will never score a free kick that way.
That part.
Do you know what, guys? Let's do a little like review of the Arsenal game, because I feel like we've not. I mean, we were planning to do that. Now we're cutting to it. But I mean, let's talk about that free kick. That Szoboszlai performance was unbelievable, wasn't it? Michael,
I've never seen anything like it. Sorry, Carl.
When he was standing over it, I was thinking, well, you don't take the free kicks for us, so give it to someone who takes the free kicks, please. You're not going to score anyway, and no one's going to score. Oh
my Lord.
It was the second week in a row where I've shouted "Don't shoot" after shouting at Gravenberch "Don't shoot," and he scored, and then going, "Oh, this is never in," and then he just bangs that in yesterday. So
maybe you should just always shout "Don't shoot."
Yeah, Tom, you got to keep doing that now. You got to keep.
Salah's on the edge of the box. Oh, don't shoot! He's just
I love that Rooney blames the keeper. Wow.
It's ridiculous.
Or they were blaming the ball. Wasn't the keeper blaming the ball?
The keeper blaming the ball,
The Puma ball moved too quick.
The new Puma balls.
Classic Arsenal. It's classic Arsenal.
The interviewer did say that to him first. Was the ball different today? And he just replied to that. So I feel it's a bit harsh. But, I mean...
He could have just said no.
As soon as he stood up... Well, as soon as he stood up, I was in the pub, King's Arms in Fulham, Liverpool supporters group, London. Just saying, I was talking to the other mates at my table. We were saying, well, he's going to hit this, and it's going to go straight into the wall, and then we're going to give possession away, and then the ball goes. Because it goes in off the post. I hesitated to celebrate. Especially when a few minutes before that, Ekitike scored a disallowed goal. But when I saw the ball nestle in the back of the net, and when I say the pub erupted because there were like 200 Liverpool fans in a little room, it was just I don't think there has been a bigger Liverpool goal in the Premier League, like against another top six side, because that was just. Because Arsenal were playing negative football. It was awful to watch. And then it took something magic like that, and it was the only goal in the game. I'm still speechless now. I can't get the words out, really.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched it about at least 100 times already. But, I mean, it's Szoboszlai's performance. I mean, I just felt his confidence has just taken to another level. I feel like
he was man of the match before that.
Yeah, he was man of the match before.
Me. But by a mile as well.
Yeah,
I know Tom's going to say Curtis Jones, obviously, but who did come on and change the game, I'll just say that.
Yeah, he did.
He did. He was fantastic. Because he just. I thought it was really interesting. This will be a tactic thing, I know, but I thought it was interesting that the best chances we got in the first half was when Mo came deep. Because we couldn't get out, we just. But every now and then, when he just dropped back again into midfield, we suddenly got space, and and he only did it twice. And I kept thinking, why don't you just keep doing that? You've got 2 other forwards.
Is
it's
anyone?
not as if you're the last man.
Is anyone slightly bit concerned about Mo? Or I know he's got a goal and assist, but
Yeah, I am.
His performances haven't been great, and like his touches yesterday.
He was.
We're all. I don't know, but maybe it's a bit
He's
too
not
early.
getting. I think that's the teams you're playing. To be honest,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah,
and I think that's the same about Wirtz as well. But there's people saying they know Wirtz hasn't really settled yet, stuff like that. He's had Bournemouth at home, who were the most improved team in the league last season. He's gone to feral Newcastle, and now he's just played the team who are going to finish second in the league. It gets easier, and I think that's the same with Mo as well. Mo's working out a system. He's not getting as many touches as he used to because of the system, because of Wirtz as well. And I think that just levels itself out. I'm not worried about it.
I think the boys just need to learn to have a bit of a connection, because all of these, most of these lads are completely new. I think the new boys probably had their best game. So Kirkes played quite well. I think Wirtz got into it. Ekitike has hit the ground running. Konate has actually had a good game, unlike the start of the season. But I think they do need to kind of figure each other out, because at Leverkusen Wirtz was the main man. At Frankfurt, Ekitike was the main man. Salah is obviously our main man. All these boys, and Isak, when he eventually comes in, he was the main man for Newcastle. All these boys are going to have to figure out a way to kind of share responsibility and share. And
they're all captains as well.
Take a moment.
There's 4 captains you haven't named there.
That's true.
Virgil, Bradley, Connor, and
Szoboszlai.
Szoboszlai,
yeah. But they just need to kind of figure out how to work with each other, and I think that is slowly, you can see it starting to click with some of the boys. Wirtz had a good game when he started to understand each other, everyone's movements and stuff like that. So I think I
loved watching him wrestle Gabriel at corners. They really had the wrong man on the wrong man there. He got swatted away every single time.
I think Konate shoved him into him at one point as well.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I love that when Slot said as well, he's found new places to get cramps today. He's not used to this league.
Yeah.
That's why he went
I
off.
think he just needs to. I think he's finding it maybe a bit of a shock. Maybe physically and stuff. But he's 22. Give the boy some time. I think we probably do it with other players, right? We probably look at United players and go, they might go 007 or whatever that, when they don't score in 7 games or whatever. But I think these players are young. They're adapting to a new league. We just give him a bit of time.
They've also had the hardest away and the hardest home game in 6 days.
Yeah. Remember when Cody came in and he was playing up front for Klopp, and we were saying, I don't really see the point. And when Szoboszlai first came in, we were saying, I'm still yet to see it, all of this. I mean, I think I even said that on this podcast when I first
I've done that.
I've
said that loads of times.
Yeah, and now suddenly they're settled and they're playing their best football. And to be honest, Wirtz, I don't even think is bad. I think some of his ideas were just so clever, but just not on the same wavelength as our forward line. So, yeah, I'm still so excited to
and what's
see
incredible
Wirtz,
is
I'm very intrigued about Isak.
What's incredible is we've played 3 games, probably not played our best football, and we're top of the league. We're 3 out of 3 wins. So imagine when it starts to click, like you say, when Wirtz starts to click, and Salah, and now Isak coming in, I hate to be a Premier League defender against us this season.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Also, I think with Salah not maybe to be into his ability is that Wirtz and Ekitike and Isak have been brought in the long term to kind of fill the Salah hole for when he does have those off games, because all of them have the quality to be the star man, as I said. So I think him maybe not being as good as he maybe was is because he's not having to carry the team. He knows he can maybe rely on the other boys, and he's 33 now or whatever he is. So I'm assuming he knows his ability, but I have full faith that he'll start kicking on again once it gets a little bit later in the season.
Yeah, no, I think Salah will be passing the baton on this season to these new attacking players. But we're going to call it a day there. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you, Louis, Tom, Carl, and Michael for your insights on what's been a dramatic transfer deadline day. But that's all for today's episode. Join us tomorrow for more reaction to the transfer deadline day and all things Liverpool related. Thank you all for listening.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.